Most parents know the book Goodnight Moon, which just this year was named one of the most checked out library books of all time. But did you know there's a local take on that classic that showcases the community that we call home? Joining us this morning, Angie Buelow. Thank you so much, local author.
Thank you so much for having me in this morning.
And we have your book right here.
Yes,
so
there it is.
What compelled you to write this book?
So, Goodnight Moon, we've been reading for 16 years to our oldest, Colin, and one of my favorite books as well of all time. And then we collect these books when we travel. So we have Goodnight San Francisco, Goodnight Nashville. And 5 years ago, my husband Ben and I decided Madison needed its own version. And here it is.
And you really had me at the opening line, because if anyone knows me, they know that I love my hot and spicy cheese bread.
Yes.
And that's the first line.
Farmers Market and hot cheesy bread.
That was a great way to
best.
hook people
right?
in.
Yes,
What
all of our favorites.
sites do you take people around?
So it's of course, State Street, the pretty capital, Camp Randall, the Mallards, the bike path, everything. The Old Brick Beer Garden, I'm in East Sider, so all sorts of great places in Madison.
And so how did you go about writing this book? Because growing up, I always kind of wanted to be an author myself. How'd you find an illustrator?
So yeah, the writing was easy. Evidently, we can rhyme things. And then it sat on our fridge for 5 years. And I had met Lindsay Salzwedel, who did all these beautiful illustrations a couple years back, and remembered her name, tracked her down on Facebook. I always had a vision of the illustrations looking Van Gogh-esque, and when I found her on Facebook, that post that day said that it was a tribute to my favorite illustrator, Van Gogh. So it was meant to be. Reached out, we had a meeting, and she's illustrating all 4 of my books this year.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's talk about all 4 of the books. What's next?
So Goodnight Madison is here. Goodnight Milwaukee is in. She has it right now. It's almost finished. That'll be out this spring. And then we'll have Goodnight Door County. And then around the holiday season, we'll have Goodnight Mama, which is, that tribute to all of us mamas out there.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So you're starting a whole series here.
I wasn't planning it, but yes, we're trying to highlight everything that makes Wisconsin awesome, yes.
And because being a parent compelled you to write these books, what advice do you have to any moms and dads watching this if they maybe don't have a good bedtime routine yet, if they're wondering what they should read to their kids?
Story time is the best time at night. I mean, all of us parents know routine is so important, but snuggle and read storybooks. And the Goodnight books are fun and easy when they're little just because they flow. Goodnight Madison is great for all sorts of littles, like all the way up, through 7, 8-year-old kids, because they can relate to the locations. And every night we read 3 books. That's our routine with Gunnar, our youngest, is we have to read 3 books before bedtime, and it's just that super special time that you don't get once they're 16.
And for anyone watching this that might want to become an author and write a book, what advice would you have for them here in the Madison area?
Give me a call. Shoot me an email. I'm happy to help. But just believe in yourself and do it. And I work with a great publishing company out of Waukesha called Orange Hat. Shannon, the owner, is a local girl from Madison as well. She graduated La Follette, and they're an indie publisher, which is really cool. So they give good advice as well if you're wanting to go that route. Very difficult to get with the big houses like Random House and whatnot. So going in with an indie publisher like Orange Hat is a great way.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Yes.
And if you'd like to pick up a copy of Goodnight Madison, you can find it in a bunch of different local stores. I actually am doing a reading at Barnes & Noble on March 14th, which on National Write Your Own Story Day. So the kiddies that are coming to that can make their own Goodnight story. But it's in a ton of all the gift shops in town, a bunch of the specialty stores, Booth 121, Regal Find, Plum Crazy, all sorts of fabulous stores. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much.